Lessons from Bruce Lee's life and death, the man, the myth, the legend. Wow, this guy is pretty incredible, and there's a lot that we can learn from him. Finally had a chance to read his biography by Bruce Thomas. Also recently read a book of quotes by Bruce Lee and learned a lot, and going to share a little bit about with you. Bruce Lee, you probably heard about him. You don't necessarily know that much about him, but he's a guy who, against a lot of odds, really came from China, became a movie star despite people really not wanting him to be in America. And he really changed martial arts across the world. As a philosopher, his philosophy has inspired a lot of people. He also serves as a model of how to succeed as an Asian male in the West, which is something important and also a reason why, if you're an Asian dude, you should definitely know all about Bruce Lee. You shouldn't be copying him, but you should know about him. I've got some. You go to my Instagram and you can check out some fight sequences from his only recorded fight. We'll play it as we talk about it. Welcome in, much love, Trav here in Hawaii. Actually, in a few minutes, going to do Jeet Kune Do, which is his style of martial art. I'm not trying to copy him, as he would say. Don't express yourself, do it truly. But I came out here as I was reading Bruce Lee and was invited to come train at a Jeet Kune Do. So make sure the media is off. So I'm definitely going to do that. But this isn't really about his martial art. I want to talk about the man and the inspiration. And the most interesting thing to me about him is that, like most successful people, ultra successful, ultra productive people, he was very precise, premeditated in everything that he did. He faced a lot of obstacles. But what I mean by that is take a look at it. He wrote this definite chief aim. This is something Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich. I've also read that, recommend that book a lot. It tells you to do. So he wrote in 1969 that he was going to be the first highest paid Oriental movie star. He was going to make $10 million by 1980. He was actually dead 3 years later in 1972, but actually did accomplish this. Broke into Hollywood through Enter the Dragon, which was the most successful martial arts movie of all time, grossing over 200 million, which is pretty insane at the time, and still would be a pretty big purse for a movie. So this just goes to show you that all these people say, make your goal and be specific. They're right. He's just one more example. And Arnold Schwarzenegger actually bought this piece of paper, and along with Steven Seagal and Bruce Willis, for many thousands of dollars, and put it up in Planet Hollywood. So that's pretty cool. Okay, some more lessons from his. How about lessons from his death? We got lessons from his life. How did he die? He died when he was 32, at the peak of his powers. Well, Bruce had a quote on this, which he like Tupac and some other guys who died early, really predicted his death. And he had this quote where he says, I need to edit this. He says, if you always put limits on what you can do. Well, the story is he's running 5 miles with this guy, his training partner, and he was training with a lot of the top martial artists in the world, karate stars. And they ran 5 miles, and he tells the guy, we're going to shift gears and run a couple more miles. The guy says, I can't do it. I'm going to die. And Bruce Lee says, then die. And then he's so mad that he runs the miles. And Bruce says afterwards, if you always put limits on what you can do, physical or anything else, it'll spread over into the rest of your life. It'll spread into your work, into your morality, into your entire being. There are no limits. There are plateaus, but you must not stay there. You must go beyond them. If it kills you, it kills you. A man must constantly exceed his level. So he kept exceeding his level, and when he moved back to Hong Kong in 1970 for 2 years, his last 2 years were dedicated to movie making. He kind of stopped sleeping, really, and instead in the night he would go to the studio and work on his movies. So he was just trying to exceed his level, and he said, if it kills me, it kills me, and arguably worked himself to death. He had a near-death experience in the dubbing of one of his movies a couple months before he died, brain aneurysm. His brain was filling with fluid. And at the time of his death, the same thing happened. They say, hey, he took some sort of a muscle relaxer or painkiller that he shouldn't have, and whatever. I mean, it's really, he worked himself to death, and probably, as he predicted, and was developing some bad habits, like started drinking more, chewing a lot of cannabis. I mean, you can say that's good or bad, but he started doing some weird things. It wasn't really the electric shock machine or anything like that. Anyways, let's go over this. Show you guys this sequence, and go through some Bruce Lee quotes. Here we are. Charge the mobile charger. There we go. Boom. So his Jeet Kune Do, the style is called the intercepting fist. I'm just watching. This is pretty cool. Here it comes. Too fast. The way of the intercepting fist. So basically, his style is you disrupt the opponent's attack with an attack of your own, and it's a kind of crazy concept where they start their attack, and then you start and finish your own attack before theirs even connects. For those of you who play Magic the Gathering, it's like the stack. You basically respond to someone and then finish the move before they even finish, which is crazy, but it's actually possible, and he had the speed to do it. Okay, some Bruce Lee quotes. Mastery. It's not the daily increase, but daily decrease. Hack away at the unessential. A lot of people think that mastering something is just accruing more and more good habits or whatever, but it's really about decreasing the bad habits. If you look at the successful people, so much of what they are is what they don't do. Not eating chips, and junk food, not doing bad stuff to excess, not doing self-destructive habits. It's about who they don't hang out with. It's about what they're not doing, right? Not lounging around in the weekends and so on. So if you're looking to improve at anything, you can just start by cutting bad habits, and eventually you'll get there. Flexibility says you must be shapeless, formless like water. When you pour water in a cup, it becomes the cup. When you pour water in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. When you pour water in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water can drip or it can crash. Be like water, my friend. He also said, the idea is running water never grows stagnant, so keep on flowing, right? Be flexible, keep flowing. Goal setting, he said, a goal is not always meant to be reached. It often serves simply as something to aim at. So set goals, and maybe you don't accomplish them, but as Les Brown said later on, shoot for the moon, or shoot for the stars, you'll land on the moon. Making it happen. To hell with circumstances, I create opportunity. I love that. Just make it fucking happen. Self-expression. Always be yourself, express yourself, have faith in yourself. Do not go out and look for a successful personality and duplicate it. So don't try to clone Bruce, but take inspiration from him. Just be yourself, be your own person. I'm T-Woo. You be you, right? On death. Key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering. Yeah, so make a big impact. You'll live forever in people's hearts and minds, and he proved that as well. So pretty cool stuff. I definitely learn a lot from Bruce. I hope that you learn a lot from me sharing this with you. If you learned something else cool that you want to share, throw it in the comments, and I'd love to hear it. And thanks to everyone. And if you want more videos like this, then holler at me. And you want my book reading, recommended book reading, then you should go check out freelivinggoals.com/books. I've got that there. And that's it. I mean, he's an inspirational man, and we should take his lessons and apply them to our own life. I don't necessarily believe in if it kills you, it kills you, because it's kind of disappointing that we didn't get to see what he would have gone on to accomplish. He was getting to the point where he could write and direct his own movies with major funding, but we never really got to see that because he died before it happened. So that's the one thing I would say, lessons from death, that I will not copy. But other than that, pretty incredible stuff, pretty incredible story. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment, share it with the Bruce Lee fan, and share something else that you've learned. down below. Much love. Thanks for watching, and thanks for participating. Take care. Peace.